All right, we got old Tommy St. Patrick. That's what we're gonna call him from here on out. Tommy St. Patrick. Because Tommy got $1 million just laying around. Would you believe that? Would y'all believe me if I told y'all at the beginning of this spinoff, Tommy had $1 million sitting in an account somewhere? Because we ain't heard Tommy open up no accounts. We ain't heard Tommy open up no business. So Tommy had already had this prior to leaving New York City. So would you believe me if I told you that Tommy had $1 million sitting around that he could give to Stacy Marks? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy not only has $1 million, he has a legitimate company with a bank account and an EIN number that he can move $1 million through a cashier's check? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan also pays his taxes? Would you believe me that Tommy, although he's dead, paid his federal income tax? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan, the man with no plan, had $1 million in a legitimate account that the bank actually authorized $1 million cashier's check? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy, who has $1 million that he could just give away, was still selling dope in Chicago? Would you believe me if Tommy with $1 million was beefing with the cartel when he didn't have to? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan had $1 million but couldn't move his brother and nephew out the project? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million and he's worried about Vic Flynn, who the whole family has crumbled? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million and he's worried about Mireya and not going at her brother? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy had $1 million and he let his nephew back into the gang? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy had $1 million and instead of building his wealth with his legitimate company that the money is in, he's scraping around with low life thugs by the name of Rashawn and Malik? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy with $1 million is hanging out in the basement of a ran down barbershop that had two clients and one of them was killed by the barber? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy had $1 million and he barely got money to re-up with the plug Che? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy has $1 million in an account that he can go to the bank with an expired ID that shows that he is dead in the system, on the run from New York City for over 3.5 years, and is dead legally? Can write a cashier's check and give it to a donation via a nigga that's snitching? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million and he's living in an abandoned firehouse? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million and he's 3 seasons in and he's still just a white boy in Chicago that ain't the big dog? Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million? $1 million. And couldn't figure out last season how to get him and his whole family out the game and keep his mom away from New York City, where we know that she's about to get into it with Diana and potentially set up Monet. Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million? $1 million. But can't go to Che as a man and say, listen, let's cut Miguel out of this because I got more money than Che. Have Che work for me, and you just bring me in the product and I make sure Chicago's straight. Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy has $1 million? And Tommy is living worse than each and every one of us that are listening to this live today. Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy Egan has $1 million and couldn't buy a fucking plane ticket to Barcelona, had to get the buddy pass? Would you believe me if I told you all of this? You might not believe me, but guess what? Today we're going to talk about Tommy Egan. And we're going to talk about how Tommy Egan took this $1 million and instead of getting his family up out of here, instead of taking this money and going on the run, Tommy decides to let that same nephew back into the game that he, in the opening scene, said he isn't in that game. Well, this is the story of Tommy Egan in episode 4. I'm Monet J. And we're going to call this, Would You Believe Me If I Told You? This is Mo's Believe It or Not. Well, Tommy goes into the basement and he hears that J-Mac, or is it J-Mac or is it D-Mac? We don't know. It's CBI business. But we find out that D-Mac is now back in CBI. Would you believe me if I told you that Tommy says that D-Mac ain't in there and he kicks D-Mac out and he kicks Jenard out just to talk to Diamond? He tells Diamond straight up, listen, he ain't in this shit. Now, while all of this is going on, we're watching this episode thinking, oh shit, this is interesting. This is getting intense. He doesn't want his nephew in the game. Now, at this point, we don't know that Tommy Egan has $1 million. From the conversation we're hearing, it sounds like they are struggling and he's trying to keep his nephew out of the streets. So he tells Diamond, D-Mac ain't like that. D-Mac ain't in CBI. That's my order. But D-Mac tells Tommy, D-Mac's a fucking killer. Tommy said, no, he ain't no killer. But don't push him. That's my nephew. He's not going to be in this. So Diamond's like, all right, you know what? We 50-50, right? I don't take orders. But Tommy has $1 million, and we don't know that Tommy has $1 million in an account. In an account. The only way you get that cashier's check is you have to have the money verifiable in a legitimate account. You can't go up to the card machine with a debit card and like, let me get a cashier's check, because they only accept up to $500. So if you wanted $2,000, you got to get 4 $500 cashier's check. So Tommy had to go to the bank, but we don't know at this point that Tommy has $1 million in an account. He tells them, my nephew ain't in this bullshit. We out here struggling. We gritting and grinding. But Tommy has $1 million. $1 million. After this, where does Tommy go? Hey, open up in there. It's your Uncle Tommy. Oh, what's going on, Nah, fuck all that. Who said you was going to be with CBI? Come on, you know me. I'm D-Mac, man. What's this I hear about you catching a body? Come on, I lay man dog down. You know you got a bounty on your head? Come on, I'll take out King Carlo. I don't give a fuck. I stand no business. You got that gun? Do you know what you into, D-Mac? Oh, come on, you swagging me, man. CBI. It's a fucking rookie. You still got that gun, D-Mac? Oh, come on, I got the gun. You was telling me it's a bounty on my head. I need the gun for protection. Give me the gun, D-Mac. Oh, come on. Man, I'm standing on business out here. Give me the gun, D-Mac. D-Mac goes and gets the gun that he killed Mad Dog with. He gives the gun to Tommy. Come on, it's my gun. Tommy tells him, nah, man, I need that gun. We don't know that Tommy has $1 million. Tommy takes this dirty gun from his nephew, who's standing on CBI business, right? Tommy has an account. Oh, wait. Backtrack that. Tommy takes this dirty gun from his nephew that has a body on it. Would you believe me if I told you Tommy's about to be walking around the city with a dirty gun and a body on it, and he has $1 million? Would you believe me if I told you Tommy is taking this dirty gun from his nephew, who has a bounty on his head, and Tommy has $1 million? We don't know that Tommy has $1 million right now. But let me tell y'all something. If I know that my nephew has a bounty on his head and I got $1 million, okay, let's do something real quick. I don't want to hold us up here, but we got to do this. We got to look at this rationally. All right. If I have $1 million and my nephew is hungry, what would you do? If you got a nephew that's hungry and you got $1 million, what would you do? Let's just see where everybody's at. Tommy, we don't know he has $1 million. But if I have a nephew that is hungry, what would you do for your nephew? If you got a nephew that is hungry and you have $1 million, what would you do? Come on, Unc, I'm hungry. Oh, guess what, D-Mac? I got $1 million. Let's go get something to eat. Now, if Tommy has $1 million, D-Mac got a bounty on his head. Take the bounty money, whatever it costs, deduct it from that $1 million, and get the bounty off of your nephew's head. You big dog in the street. All Tommy had to do with King Kylo on D-Mac, how much is the bounty? How much they put on him? $10,000? Bet. Let's pay that $10,000 and you just leave him alone. You know, we got that. We got it covered. Whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? We'll squash this. We'll supply y'all some bricks or something. But when I told y'all everybody's in these situations because of Tommy, Tommy can pay King Kylo off right now and there would be no bounty. There would be no issues with King Kylo. But Tommy rather spend $1 million on Stacy Marks than to get his nephew out of some trouble. That's where we're at right now, guys. And that leads me back to, why are we here? What are we doing? Tommy has $1 million, guys. We don't know it yet, but Tommy has $1 million. We've seen the check. The funds are there. Why are we living like we don't have $1 million? But you'll buy tickets, a buddy pass to go to Barcelona with Mireya, but you won't help your nephew out when you've been telling us that he's not going to be in the game per your orders. Oh, come on. You taking the gun from this nigga? He got the gun up under the sink. See? Now y'all starting to look at Tommy a little like, yeah, it's got you looking at Tommy like, Damn, Tommy, that is kind of fucked up. That is kind of messed up, Tommy. You could easily get D-Mac. There's a bounty on D-Mac's head. Get D-Mac out the city. You got $1 million. You bought bullshit tickets. Whoever gave you that buddy pass to Barcelona, get a buddy pass for D-Mac. Get him out of here. But guess what? Tommy don't work for nobody but Tommy Egan. Tommy fucking Egan. Walter Flynn never liked Tommy, and I liked Walter Flynn, so I gotta agree with Walter. I gotta agree with Jenard. I gotta agree with James St. Patrick. Tommy Egan really screws everybody over. I'm just gonna be real, but they get the gun. Oh, come on. He took the gun from D-Mac. D-Mac out here naked. Well, he got the gun up under the mattress, but we don't know nothing about that. Up under the cushion, should I say. All right. So from there, he takes the dirty gun. He takes the dirty gun and he goes to visit Vic. And when he gets to Vic's house, Vic is like, "What up, man?" Vic gives him a little stash. He give him a little stash, little 10 pieces, maybe 20 pieces. Might be about 3,500, 35,000 a year. What up, TSF? Shout out to TSF Entertainment, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. You know, they be doing big things over there. It's just, I be wanting to join. It just be late my time, but I'm gonna get on this channel one of these days. So shout out to TSF Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Yeah, D-Mac got the other burner, but we on Tommy's story. So Tommy don't know about that other gun. We just know about that. Oh, come on. Oh, that's my gun, man. You said it's a bounty on me. He pulled up to Vic. Vic give him a little package. He's like, "Come on, Tommy, man. What's going on, man? I done everything you said, man." Tommy like, "You ain't did everything." Now, Tommy's getting a little reckless here. I gotta say, Tommy puts a gun to this nigga's throat. I don't care if there ain't no goddamn bullets in there or not. Like, dog, you're not pulling no gun on me, man. Tommy's really wilding out. I don't know what then got into Tommy, but Tommy's on some different type of Tommy. So he pull up. No, you ain't did nothing. And I will say this. I ain't really like how they was going at Stacy Marks. That right there did kind of rub me the wrong way. I ain't gonna lie. I really didn't like how Tommy was going at Stacy Marks. It was getting a little carried away. So I gotta look and see who wrote this episode. I definitely gotta see who wrote this episode. I will say I ain't really like how Tommy was going at Stacy Marks. It was getting a little too aggressive. What you got on that bitch? What you got on that fed bitch? I'm like, you don't talk about no other character like that. Why are we talking about Stacy Marks like that? I ain't really like that. That may have just been me, but they didn't have, what you just got on that fed? What you got on that motherfucker? But what you got on that Stacy Marks bitch? What you got on that fed bitch? I'm like, wait. You don't even talk about Miguel that bad. I'm like, why we got to talk about Stacy like that? You know what I'm saying? Maybe one time, okay, I get it. It's in the heat of the moment, but 2 times, I like that. I'm definitely got to go back and see who wrote this episode. I thought that was a little overboard. You know what I mean? I ain't really like all of that. What you got on that fed bitch? That Stacy Marks bitch. I'm like, hey, all right. Like, come on. You ain't called nobody else in this series a bitch. Motherfucking goddamn Jenard and them got your nephew back in the game. You ain't called neither one of them niggas no bitches. You ain't called Claudia no bitch. But you, Stacy Martin, what you call that fed bitch? I'm like, hey, you ain't called Claudia none of that. And Claudia gave you some dahlia in front of the hotel and put your bitch ass to sleep. You ain't call her no bitch. You getting on the phone with Claudia talking about, yeah, you gonna figure it out, Claudia. But when it came to Stacy Marks, you was tough guy. I ain't really like that, though, to be honest with you. Like, I ain't like that. You're a little too carried away. Now, with the Angela thing, that was different. Angela was trying to lock them niggas up for show. Yeah, we know Stacy Marks is too. But what Angela was doing was way closer to home than this. Tommy has sat down in an interrogation with Stacy Marks. You know what I mean? I ain't like that. That's just me. But anyway, he still got that gun on Vic. What that Stacy Mark bitch got. He's like, man, look, she very vulnerable, man. She got that campaign going on. She got that divorce going on. One thing about Vic, that nigga gonna tell everything. You got that campaign going on. And I know she needs some money for that campaign, Tommy. And you got a lot of money. Tommy said, really? I do got some money laying around. Now, we don't know that Tommy got $1 million. Would y'all believe me if I told y'all Tommy got $1 million in a bank account? Well, we ain't got there yet, but Tommy has just been told by Vic that if you donate to the campaign to that Stacy Marks mofo, you might have some leverage. And Tommy's like, you know what? Take this dirty gun, and I'm gonna get the money. We're gonna put it on that campaign. And when she finds out that this dirty money came from me, she won't be able to do anything I don't tell her to. Oh yeah, get that money. Now at this point, we don't know that Tommy has $1 million. We don't know. At this point, did y'all know that Tommy had $1 million? Put a one in the chat. Did you know that Tommy had at this point, did you know that Tommy had $1 million in the account? Did anyone know that Tommy had $1 million? When they say donate to the campaign, I'm thinking, okay, 100,000, 50,000. I didn't think anything over like maybe a quarter, and a quarter is high as hell. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna donate 50,000, 100,000. I didn't know that around the corner was a whole ticket. But we ain't there yet, so we don't even know. We don't even know how much money he actually has. But the meeting goes down, and the meeting is between him, Malik, and damn Rashawn. Now we know Diamond is in the background, not knowing what the hell is going on. He just here. He just here. You know what I mean? So they show up and they tell Tommy, nah, we good, man. We want out the game. Tommy's like, wait a minute, you want out the game? He said, yeah, we want out the game. What do you mean you want out the game? Nigga, we want out the game. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. We want out the game. Now they get ready to leave and they trying to convince them, nah, don't leave, man. Don't leave, man. Y'all gotta stay with us, man. Y'all gotta get this product, man. We got that work, man. We got that work. They're like, nah, we good. We good, man. We out. We don't want nothing to do with you, Tommy. So they leave. Tommy and Diamond, they losing it. They like, damn. But when they check the bag, Malik actually left a note that says your spot, 8 p.m. So Tommy's like, shit, I'm optimistic. This means they might still be trying to fuck with us. Your spot at 8. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm at Tommy's house trying to buy bricks. Bloom, 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 bloom. My buddy Rashawn just quit. Now it's all on me. I'll pull up with 60,000 to cop some bricks to flood the streets. I got plans to be a big dog, take over Chicago. Y'all know what I mean. Let me tell the coalition straight up now. Malik is a big dog, and I don't want no talking back from none of y'all bum ass niggas. So go and buy these bricks from me. Now here we are at Tommy's house, trying to buy the bricks and try to make a name. They talk about sell them bricks on the block, pushing up the real money. So now we got a meeting at 8 o'clock. We got to follow the Blues clues. Now, while all of this is going down, Tommy's meeting up with Malik. Like, look, I know you want to get out the game, but I want to make you the big dog. Because getting out the game really ain't an option. Like right now, Tommy, we know Tommy has $1 million in the bank account. They wrote the cashier's check. Now, Malik comes over here and he's got a chance to get Malik to become a big dog. Or he can tell Malik, look, this dope game ain't nothing you want to play around with. I'm sitting on a couple M. What you can do is you can take that re-up money and get up out the city. But what does Tommy do? He says, fuck all that. What we gonna do is take out Rashawn and make you the big dog. So Tommy really doesn't care about getting anyone out of here. Tommy's like, fuck it. If I can destroy someone else, then so be it. So what we gonna do is we gonna go and take Rashawn out because Tommy got another plan, and that's to make sure that D-Mac is all right. So the plan is in full effect. The plan is in full effect. But before we can get to the plan, we end up running into Che because all the money we collected from all the lowlifes within the city, we got to re-up. But when they get here, we see Che and them on the boat. Got this man tied up like a hog, whooping his ass with a chain. Ah, you gonna learn your name, boy. What is your name? Kuta Kinte. Your name is Toby. You're gonna learn your name, boy. Che ain't playing around. We ain't seen Che. Che just came back from an all-expense paid vacation in Mexico. That nigga was down in the Gulf of America kicking it. He took his tugboat all the way from the motherfucking Gulf of America up the Mississippi all the way to Chicago. He said, you're gonna learn your name, boy. Well, it's Toby. Pop, pop, pop. They popped him, dumped his ass off the tugboat. Like, damn, and Miguel is there, hands in his pocket. This is some cool shit. He said, kill him and make him stew. I think they were supposed to keep him on the boat, but they didn't make him stew. They threw him off the boat. So I don't know if they're going to get that stew or not, but he kill him, make him stew. But they threw him off the boat. So I guess the stew is in the water. I'm not for sure. I've never been around the cartel, but Tommy and them pull up. All black Escalade, clean as hell. Who's that, Diamond driving? Yeah, it's Diamond. It's Tommy over there. So they pull up in the all black Escalade. These new Escalades go for like 110, 120 base model, like 110, 115. You could probably talk them down, but yeah. They are very nice, but I wouldn't pay that much for no Escalade. It ain't that nice. But they show up. Diamond in all black, Tommy in all black, but Tommy's jacket is like a little bit too big. It's like almost hanging off his shoulder. So they pull up. Che is like, this is business, Tommy. Tommy said, is this a bad time? This is never a bad time, Tommy. What do we have here? Well, we got this money, man. You know how it is. We just dropping off these work. You know what I mean? We trying to re-up. We want 3 times the product. 3 times the product, Tommy? When I'm hearing that there's bodies dropping in the street, Tommy said, oh, man, you know, that just comes with the game. You know what I mean? If it's too hot in the kitchen, then get out the kitchen. Shout out to Auntie Knows Kitchen. Auntie loves the kitchen. We love Auntie. But Tommy's talking about, yeah, man, sometimes the bodies is dropping. Chase said, I don't want the bodies dropping. Miguel talking about beefs only come, they only bring problems, Che. Jefe, he's going to bring bad problems, bad mojo, comprende? So Miguel over here hating on Tommy. Che's like, what did I tell you about dropping bodies, Tommy? Tommy's like, hey, look, Che, I just need 3 times the product. I got $1 million. I don't know if you heard or not. I got an M. I'm playing with real M's over here. While Miguel is over there bullshitting you, buying pigs and shit, nigga, I'm buying motherfucking mayors. We different. M&M, mayors and millions. That's what I got. While Miguel over there with his shirt unbuttoned, he ain't really living like that. I am. I got $1 million. You know what I mean? I'm really like that, Che. I'm a valuable asset to the organization. So Tommy's listening, Miguel's hating, and Che is making it clear. Listen, yeah, we'll see what we can do about that 3 times the product. You do got the money on you. But there's just something fishy about this white boy. But Tommy don't give a damn. Tommy don't care if you're with them, if you're against them. Tommy's objective is to fuck you over so Tommy can win. And that's exactly what's going on here. Miguel talking about, we need to get some more bodies to move that extra weight to keep up with Tommy because Tommy's getting 3 times the product. Che, that means you got to get with Ortega. And we know that he ends up calling Ortega. We also know that Miguel went over to Tommy's spot. We're going to take a step back because we're putting these stories together. But Tommy didn't know that Miguel pulled up to his house to visit Mireya. That was the next step. Miguel? Miguel, is that you? Mireya, it's me, your brother. So this is the Egan space. So Mireya just lets him in here. Let's look at the camera feeds real quick. Security alert, security status, camera feeds, archive data, alarm system, gate status, admin panel, system override, lock system. Okay, this is that back corner here. Tommy's, wait a minute. So Tommy left his vehicle here and he rode with Diamond. Okay, so it makes sense. So Miguel left the dock and went straight to Tommy's house. Tommy went to go meet up. Well, he was riding with. Wait. I'm trying to get the logistics together. Diamond came to Tommy's house to pick him up because on the security footage, we know that Tommy's car is at the fire department. So that means Diamond had to come and pick Tommy up to go to the meeting, which means they probably went back to the barber shop when Miguel drove straight from the dock to Tommy's house to talk to Mireya. Okay. So now Miguel knows the insides and what the security is looking at. We got 4 cameras up here. You got your main camera, which is the same camera as this one here. So I guess you can just bring that over to the main one. So Miguel is coming over here to snoop around, and he tells Mireya, he brings her flowers, which Tommy's going to see the flowers and say, whose flowers are these? And then Mireya's going to say, oh, Miguel came over. He's like, Mireya, why do you keep bringing them over there? Mireya just don't give a fuck and gonna get somebody killed. But this is her brother, Hermano. He's like, I got these flowers. I want you and Tommy to have a dinner with me. We can go to whatever restaurant you want to go to. He said, just dealing with you and Madre not being at the house. We're not having Sunday dinner. Orderly, hombre. I miss you, Mireya. We're going to have dinner, you and Tommy. And Mireya just goes for it. He kisses her on the head. He knows the layout of the land. He got the security footage. He knows where the cameras are. Mireya is just setting this man Tommy up. Mm-mm-mm. Now, Tommy, what does he do? Well, we got to continue to work because we got to get this money. We got to be able to fund the organization. So he goes and meets up with none other than Elise. Now, Elise is at the club. Elise is sitting around. And she's supposed to be recording Tommy. Now, Tommy don't know this, but Tommy goes get the money. She's like, Tommy, what drugs are you getting? Tommy, how much money are you making? Tommy, do you have enough coke? Can you supply me coke? Tommy's like, yeah, I'm the Santa Claus of the ghetto. You know, I'm supplying the block. You know, if your nose got an itch, Tommy got the fix. Ooh, I like that. If your nose got an itch, Tommy got the fix. If Your nose got an itch. Tommy got the fix. I like that. If your nose got the itch, Tommy got the fix. All right. Hey, don't y'all be taking my slogan. But Tommy pushes up on her because she's nervous. She's jittery. And Tommy knows what that cocaine will do to you because we seen him and Kate Egan going back to back. I'm talking about slug nose, tail nose. You know what I mean? He gets up on her and he pulls her phone out. Now, the phone is recording. It's got Tommy on the recording. Tommy throws the phone in the water. This is 2024. Any phone that you have that was made after 2012, waterproof. Tommy doesn't delete the recording. It's still recording. Tommy just tosses the phone in the water. Now it's gonna be a little distorted, but it's still recording everything that they talking about. You might not be able to make it out, but it's still recording. Tommy ain't delete the recording, no nothing. The phone is waterproof. All she has to do is reach in there, and it has Tommy saying, "I'm the Santa Claus of cocaine." Tommy didn't delete nothing. Elise is talking about, Tommy, you got that dope? He said, "I'm the Santa Claus of the ghetto. Santa Claus, go straight to the ghetto." Tommy thought he was doing something. I said, oh, Lord. Tommy made a rookie mistake. He just chastised D-Mac. What up, no label to label? You know what I'm saying? We got a celebrity in the building. We got a celebrity in the build done. But Tommy made a rookie mistake. But he tells her, you a drug dealer, we a drug dealer, we all drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dude, you a dude, we a dude. What movie is that from? It was actually a TV show, but they put it into a movie. But what is that from? So he leaves. She's like, fuck. Fucking Claudia done got me screwed over again. Again. So Tommy leaves up out of there with the recording and everything. Miguel does talk to Ortega. Ortega is out of solitary confinement, allegedly. He getting domed up by a guard. So Ortega is supposed to be in solitary confinement because we know Stacy Marks told us that at the beginning of the episode. How is he still making hits and running the streets when he's in solitary confinement? So he's never been released from solitary confinement. He's potentially going to get released from prison, but none of that has went through yet, according to Bill. So I don't know. This is a little discrepancy here. But Miguel's talking about, yeah, man, next time the phone pings, nigga, it's the logistics. We go get some money. That moolah, that mucho dinero. Extra grande. I like my pockets extra sloppy. But from here, we go straight into the plan, man. We're going to finish Tommy's story up real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they go and they meet up and they go to take out Rashawn. Now, when they get there, you already know what's going down, man. Rashawn in there, they talking about knocking over bicycles and shit. Boom, they knock over the bikes. Rashawn like, man, what's going on, man? What you doing to my bikes, man? Come on, cuz, my jaw hurt. But they kick over the bikes. And then they go and do some wild shit, like some more rookie mistakes. They go in here, they end up choking them out. Tommy just can't be regular. Tommy takes everything to the extreme, gets some pliers, pulls this nigga's tongue out, cuts the tongue off. Like, dude, he can't even tell you what his plan was, Tommy. Tommy cut the tongue out. Then they go ahead and knock him on the ground. He kind of out of it. He tells Diamond, hey, Diamond, pull your phone out, Diamond. Oh, he got the wheats on too? I ain't even noticed that at first. He got the wheats on. He tells Diamond, pull your phone out. Diamond like, all right, I got you. And then they lift up this engine block. And Tommy's like, well, you know, fuck it. Let's make this shit as messy as possible. We don't care about covering our tracks. Tommy's like, I got $1 million and I'm white. So they ain't not even going to be looking for me. They're going to be looking for you Negroes. So Tommy's like, record this. And then, boom. They drop that motherfucker on them. Splatter everywhere. I said, oh, Lord. This ain't what we was expecting in Power, but it happens. And then Tommy takes the gun that he got back from Vic because he texts Vic while Vic was in the interrogation room with Stacy Marks and said, I need that nickel. I need it now. So Tommy gets the dirty gun back from Vic that he gave to Vic before Vic told him about getting $1 million to go and give to Stacy Marks, puts the dirty gun next to Rashawn. Rashawn is smashed by a car engine. Diamond recorded it on his phone, and they got to send this to King Kylo in order to save D-Mac. Well, all of that works because we find out that Jenard, which we already covered, went up there. And then Vic also tells Tommy, while all this is going on, that Stacy Marks is letting Claudia out, while Tommy is talking to D-Mac. Because Tommy, for some reason, decides that it is now safe for D-Mac to be outside because King Kylo believes that Rashawn deleted Mad Dog. So the bounty just magically disappeared off of D-Mac, and Tommy says, D-Mac, you can be back in CBI. So we just wasted 2 whole seasons of Tommy protecting D-Mac only to let D-Mac back in the gang, knowing that D-Mac is 16, 17 years old, caught a body, 2 of them, but we let D-Mac back in the game when we know for a fact that Tommy had $1 million in an account, a legitimate account, meaning he probably got 2 to 3 more million in other accounts because you're no way pulling out all of your money. And he just let D-Mac, you know what, D-Mac, fuck it, go on, be back outside. So everything that we've been doing the last 2 seasons to keep D-Mac out of this bullshit, we give Stacy Marks $1 million. We don't give D-Mac anything, but now we let D-Mac back in the game to go hustle and kill niggas. Why are we here? What is Tommy doing? What are we watching? We just did all of, he's not back in CBI. Now he's back in CBI and he still has 2 bodies on him. What are we doing? Why are we here? I'm looking at this like, what the fuck is going on this episode? Then he gets a text. What's the text message say? Claudia has wings. Was she drinking Red Bull, nigga? What do you mean she got wings? Elaborate, Vic. What do you mean she got wings? That means Tommy go put all black on and go down to the federal prison, the holding cell downtown. So now Tommy is going downtown where we know is heavy Fed presence. He got on all black. He's been walking around, donated $1 million to Stacy Marks, and now he's just sitting outside while the feds are escorting Claudia, who is supposed to be in witness protection so that the fucking cartel don't know that she's working with the feds. But what's the first thing they do? They come outside with all the feds. I know we ain't talking about Stacy right now, but we got to point this out. Tommy's at the end of the block watching Claudia come out of here because now she got wings. But Stacy Marks said, you going to snitch on Ortega, or I'm going to tell Ortega that you working with the feds. Ortega's calling hits from behind bars. Stacy Marks just said, how was he running shit behind bars in solitary confinement? So you think niggas ain't watching Claudia Flynn, who was in prison with Ortega's people, where Bill knows about all this? She's walking out here. She ain't in regular shit. She got YSL on, head to toe. She's walking out here with the fucking feds, hops in goddamn black Escalades with the feds talking about, we're going to tell Ortega, with Tommy in the middle of the goddamn Chicago with this hood on, hiding behind the motherfucking wall. Hey, who's that white boy over there? So, hey, is in the feds, or who is this white boy over there? Tommy over there. Like, we escorting a big time snitch out of the federal prison, and we got Tommy just. This is how Claudia's coming out of jail, man. That's Tommy's story, man. We off the clock. I ain't even got no questions for y'all. We off the clock, man. We off the clock. We ain't even got no questions for Tommy, man. You know what? We just gonna end it there, man. That's Tommy's story. Tommy got $1 million in the bank account, y'all. Believe it or not, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Tommy has $1 million. Tommy got $1 million, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Jeez Louise. Tommy was on that corner. Get out of here, man. What are we doing? Oh, man. All right, man. Hit that like button, man. We had 3 hours. All right, let me see what we got. We got Big, Stacy, Claudia. We're gonna kind of speed these up, man. I got shit to do tomorrow, man. We don't even know that, like, there wasn't no name on the account or anything. It just said Pageant Inc. So Pageant Inc. it is. All right. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We can honestly knock all of these out, probably like 10 minutes a piece, 10, 15 minutes a piece. Because no one really got it. We knocked out the big part of the stories. And like I said, we got Tommy with Miguel. So we got Vic, Stacy, Claudia, and D-Mac. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got like 50 people in here. Let me see where we at. I appreciate everybody tuning in again. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, a good one with the family. I really do enjoy it. Of course, I have my issues with this episode. I do feel like this is one of the weaker episodes of the season, but it is Power, so I'm going to continue to watch it. But I just got to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just giving my perspective of what I think of it. You guys, like, I don't knock any of you. Like, you say eights, nines. Hey, man, it's everybody's opinion. I don't know, man. It's just some of the stuff I was looking at. Like, really, Claudia getting out, just walking, hair blowing like she Michael Jackson or something. Who she thinks she is? Madonna? Came outside walking. She putting glasses on. The feds are walking. They jackets is blowing open. Tommy sprints downtown. Like, you didn't even know where Claudia was at. They could have escorted Claudia to another building. It wasn't, I don't know, man. He gives a gun. He gives the gun to Vic, only to text Vic back, like, let me get the gun back. All right, hit that like button. Let's go. We got Vic. We about to get on the clock. Like I said, each one of these are probably going to be like 10 minutes, unless we find some shit and I get to clown around. Are we good? We good? Like, y'all fine with me joking around? Like, with the, I know the Jenard situation, we had the explanation. That was a little extended, but Y'all cool with that stuff, man? You know what I mean? I just want to make sure I'm entertaining you guys. That's really I'm really here for. You know what I mean? Because I can talk this shit to myself, but I just want to entertain you guys. I ain't come here to hurt nobody, do no nothing else. But you know, we got to get on the clock. We got Vic. All right, we do 311.